What if the future of electric vehicles is being written right now on racetracks around the world? I'm Ryan Smith. Welcome to the Road Ahead, a series from Dow Mobility Science where we'll explore the winding and complex journey of the global automotive industry and how we can navigate it together. Season 2 is kicking off trackside here at the Miami E-Prix, and I'm joined by my colleague and Global Technical Director for Mobility Science, Joe McDonald, and JLR's Motorsports Head of Partnerships and Sponsorships, Ryan Taylor. Together, we'll be diving into the distinctive role of motorsport in the fast-track innovation for the modern automotive industry. Joel, would you mind kicking us off and tell us about why we're here at the racetrack today? And tell the audience a little bit about your role in it.
Thanks, Ryan. We've been the official material science partner at Jaguar TCS Racing since 2020. And my role in that is to help coordinate Dow's activities with the Jaguar TCS team, the engineers and the scientists, bring them all together so they can innovate and deliver great things on the track. So we're here today and the next couple of days to see some of that innovation take place and see how that collaboration can hopefully bring a win to the team.
And now, Ryan, we're super excited to join you here in your lane, down here in the paddock. And we have, obviously, the Jaguar TCS Racing Team garage here behind us. Could you introduce yourself and a little bit about your role in the team?
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. Pleasure to be here. So my role is Head of Partnerships within Jaguar TCS Racing. I look after all of our partnerships and how we can gain value from them out of technical innovations and ultimately use it to our advantage to make our cars faster on the track. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today.
Now, Ryan, as someone who's been in a luxury car maker for more than a decade, tell us a little bit about what drives a luxury global name, kind of luxury car maker to go into motorsports and specifically Formula E.
So it's a great question because actually we had to take our time to decide what form of motorsport we wanted to go into as an automotive brand, and we were the first premium automotive brand to enter into Formula E back in season 3, which was back in 2016. We had to go, well, where's the relevance for us in terms of motorsport, of where we're going as a business into the future? And we wanted to make sure that we entered into something that really was something we could drive technologies in, develop new areas of technology, focus on taking that back into our road cars of the future. So Formula E was the obvious answer for us to be able to do that. So entering back then, now 10 years ago we've been racing in the championship. We've got 20 wins under our belt, 50 podiums now, quite an amazing streak we've had over the few different years, and that culminated in 2024 in winning the World Teams Championship. But it was a conscious decision to go into a sport where we as a global OEM are heading into an all-electric future for Jaguar. So back then we were launching the Jaguar I-Pace, now we're changing to transition to be all-electric and only electric as Jaguar moving forward. So the relevance of this technology is perfect for us.
So as someone who's been working with this partnership for a while, Joel, what are, I guess, some of the track innovations or things we brought to the track that Ryan's referencing?
Yeah, sure. So at first we started out looking at some of the basic challenges that you guys face as a team, kind of one-to-one replacements where Dow products could bring a performance advantage or a sustainability advantage to the car. Those activities were pretty fruitful at the outset, and we've advanced it quite a bit since then.
How is Dow helping to drive forward that ambition on the track? What are some of the specific examples that we're bringing into this team that's able to help them to just go faster down the track?
Sure. What we've learned from the Jaguar TCS technical team is that managing heat and managing electromagnetic radiation inside the vehicle is of critical importance.
Yeah.
And so our teams are closely collaborating to try to solve some of the challenges that we have now learned about as you guys have raced around the track, around the world. These are not easy problems to solve, and what's great is the collaboration that our teams have, and they're putting their heads together. It's fun to watch them work. But it's all about those photons and those phonons. You know, trying to manage those as best we can is really part of the puzzle that our scientists are working together on today.
Yeah, and look, this is what's different about all of our different teams down the paddock. So we, as Jaguar, manufacture our powertrain. We use a number of common parts as teams down the pit lane here, and for example, batteries. They're the same battery unit that we have across all teams, but there are a number of areas in the powertrain that we can develop and manufacture and work to make a competitive advantage against our competitors next to us, Porsche or Nissan down the road, and actually look to make a powertrain that's going to compete and win these world championships. And that's what's most important for us, finding those ways to get those small advantages that mean a lot when it comes to racing on the track. All we need to do is find 100th of a second, or manage energy better, or manage what we're doing with various different technologies with Dow that mean we can take this forward onto the track and turn it into victories.
Ryan, here in the paddock there's a lot of exciting teams, and here at Jaguar TCS Racing we know that if your 2024 win, you seem to be a little step ahead. What is it that you think your competitors see you and the Jaguar TCS Racing team as perhaps just being one notch above?
Well, I think the main thing in Formula E is that this is all about efficiency, right? And actually, if you can capitalise on having an efficient powertrain, that's what's going to set you apart amongst the competitors. Something that you can effectively then deploy the energy how you see fit around in the race, and the drivers can use that to their advantage to make that one attack, make that one move. If you don't have the energy to be able to do that, then quickly you'll fall back in the race. So for us, efficiency really is the key, and that's something that we believe we have an advantage in, and hopefully plays out in some of the race performance that comes out on the track.
So Joel, we hear all about efficiency here, and that's where they're a step ahead. How is it that Dow, with our large toolbox, is able to come alongside Jaguar TCS Racing to enhance their competitive advantage of efficiency?
Yeah, the thermal management piece that Ryan mentioned is really critical. We have a range of products there spanning silicone materials, polyurethane materials, all bringing that thermal conductivity to bear in the sensitive parts of the car where we really need to manage that heat as best we can. And it's been fun to work with the team to try to push the limits there. I mean, we're talking about very small spaces, but you still want to control weight, but you still want to be able to pull heat out. It is a really challenging and exciting space for our scientists and engineers to puzzle away on.
And one of the main things about this is that any losses we have through the powertrain and heat is just lost efficiency on the track. So actually seeing if we can really manage that is really helping us to gain a competitive advantage.
Fantastic. And so building on that kind of last comment of getting a competitive advantage, what do you see as like just partnering with a material science partner kind of period, and Dow specifically has been able to enhance your performance on the track?
Well, what's great is we're race experts, but we're not material science experts. So actually using expertise from specialists that can look at all of the different components within our powertrain, where we can ultimately find really small wins in areas that are areas of Dow's expertise, is the real special chemistry that we have, where we can really go and identify those challenges, where you guys have expertise, where you can take it back to experts in the R&D lab and bring back knowledge to us that simply we're not the experts in. And the collaboration of the two of us together is where the special magic really is here.
We know for all of us, we have an interest of not only succeeding on the track, but also succeeding out on the road with our civilian cars. So what is the way that we're able to, I guess you see Jaguar TCS Racing facilitating and accentuating that race to road mentality?
Well, motorsport has always had this really special part of it, and that is a fail fast mentality, where you can go and develop things for a race car that you go out on the track, you learn lots of information in a very short period of time, and then you go racing 2 weeks later and you can make those changes. We develop powertrains at crazy record speeds, and so we're always developing things at an amazing pace compared to the pace of an OEM development. And actually taking those learnings back to a road car is what's so important of this program for us. Motorsport is, in many years, has been responsible for developments all across the world of OEM, and actually transitioning this learning that we're having at the pinnacle of competition, where you're pushed to the absolute extreme to get wins. It means that you develop things quickly. It's this fast-paced R&D lab, right? And that's where motorsport has real special characteristics that can bring it back into the core business. And so all of these learnings we're taking back into our road car business of JLR, and actually taking it to advance the cars that you and I can buy and drive on the road, and that's the power of motorsport.
And Joel, continuing on that race to road discussion, I know between our partnerships with Jaguar TCS Racing, the JLR parent company, and expanded partnerships we have out in the OEM network, what are some examples where Dow has worked with those partners to bring new technology out, actually road vehicles that people use every day? Sure,
a good example is comfortable, sustainable seating. So a couple of projects that we've been working on with JLR and a couple of seating partners. So with Adient in JLR, we've developed a polyurethane foam solution that's entirely circular, delivers a carbon savings that's significant, about 50% carbon savings, which is great. And then with another partner, Lear, we've been developing with JLR a 3D loop-based seating technology, a polyolefin-based solution fully recyclable, delivers some weight savings as well. And so the trick there is again, delivering that sustainability, comfort, that luxury feel that JLR is prized for, treasured for in the industry, with some great material science innovations.
What's amazing about this is how we take those learnings from the motorsport team and take it back into the core business. So for us, it's about taking those engineers that are based here and based in our headquarters in Kidlington, delivering a number of workshops to showcase that to our core business, and then ultimately it means that we can showcase all of those various technologies we worked on the track back to our core organisation as well.
That's great, Ryan.
Our last question for you both that I'd like to ask everyone that we have on this little show is what keeps you up at night in relation to this industry, in relation to the track, starting with you, Ryan.
So look, the world of electrification is pretty exciting but pretty daunting at the same time. Well, this is like a transition that was the same as going from steam engines to combustion. We're now going from combustion to electrification. This is a new world that we're venturing into here, right? And so actually it's exciting. It does keep me up at night, but actually what's amazing about it is we're going on this journey and we're doing it at the absolute pinnacle of motorsport. But there's a lot still to learn, right? There's a lot to learn in EVs and how we're going to take them forward and make hopefully better cars than our competitors. But yeah, competition's tough out there. We've got a lot of work to do. And so yeah, it's going to be an amazing journey that we're part of in this transition that's going on right as we speak.
Fantastic, thank you. Joel, as the Dow's Global Technical Director for Mobility Science, what are your thoughts on the same question?
Yeah, the speed and pace of innovation today is just incredible. Design times are twice as fast as they were just 10 years ago. And so our teams are hustling all the time. It's great to have partnerships that enable that. But that's a really important thing for us, is being able to keep pace with the transition to electric vehicles. I think the other part of it that I want to draw a finer point on is what Ryan said a minute ago about bringing that balance of performance and sustainability. Achieving both with the same product is not so easy. Usually you trade off one or the other, but what Dow strives to do is bring both to the table. And that's where partnerships like we have with your team and others, really help us define how to get there, and so that's a thing that I worry about, but also I celebrate when we achieve it with the team.
That's great. Well, thank you both so much for your time. It was truly a pleasure, and we're excited to cheer on the team tomorrow on the track. So,
thanks very much.
Thank you much. On today's episode, we learned about the world's first net carbon zero sport and how Formula E is such an incredible catalyzer of innovation for both Dow and JLR. We'd love to hear from you. For those of you working in the mobility industry, what's the biggest technical challenge you're facing in this transition to electric vehicles? Or if you could fast track one innovation from racetrack to production vehicles tomorrow, what would that be and why? Share in the comments and let's get a conversation started. And as always, thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, I'm Ryan Smith, and we'll see you on the road ahead.